Next up on our 2024 CVC Fall Sports Media Day Tour is the reigning Chagrin Division champion Hawken Hawks volleyball team, Coach Patty Hayes. Coach, thanks for being here. Kick it off. Just give us a preview. What can we expect out of the defending champs this season?
Oh, I love it. That's a great intro there, Steve. We're
I
excited.
worked on it all morning.
Yes. We're excited. I mean, we know that we've had two very successful years here at Hawken. We graduated 7 seniors, but we've got a solid senior crew on our varsity staff and varsity team this year. 3 of which my captains right here, Cynthia, Emily, and Olivia, have been in those teams and have been part of that championship reign. And so they know what that feels like. They know the work that they have to put in for it. And so now it's just an opportunity for them to lead this varsity team in that same way. We know we have a target on our back. We know we have a competitive conference in many ways, but we're excited about the challenge and we're excited what the season has in store.
Excellent. All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after I talk with the girls. We'll start right to your right. For the folks at home, just introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Cynthia. I'm a senior, and I play outside right side.
What do you feel when you hear that Hawken is the defending champs? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means that we work as a team. It means that we can come out and show up. And yeah.
You obviously graduated a lot of great players, but you bring back a whole bunch of all-conference performers, so the cupboard isn't bare by any means. How different is this team compared to last year?
I think that we have different people, kind of different positions, but this year we have a very versatile team, and there's lots of people who are able to do lots of different things when the needs arise, and everyone's a really good team player. Our bench is always really loud. We always have great team huddles, and everyone's always talking to each other and building each other up.
What are your goals for senior season, individually and for your team?
I think individually, I want to be the best team player I can be, and kind of be that person, especially as a captain, that people can look up to. And I also want to be the person that helps build other people up, and as a team, obviously we want to win. I think that's pretty obvious. But I also think we just want to all enjoy our season, especially since the majority of us are seniors.
Last one for you is just give me a breakout player, somebody on the team that may not have played a lot last year, but through the first couple of weeks of the preseason, you're confident she's going to have a big season.
This year, I would say probably Kendall Williams. She did not play a lot last season. She's on varsity, and this season she's done a lot of outside and all the way around, and she's really come and shown up for the team. I think that's really great.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this fall. All right, Emily, on to you. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Emily. I'm going to be a senior, and I'm a setter and a right side.
Okay, so setter, you're the quarterback of the offense. Obviously, some new faces in the lineup. How's that group coming together, you and your front row hitters?
There's definitely some new faces, which is a bit of a challenge just from the start. But I think from practice, we've been getting a lot of reps in, which is important. And I was going to give a shout out to Kendall as well. I feel like during our last scrimmage, me and her were connecting really well. And I had a whole season setting middle with Olivia, which wasn't the she usually likes to be a right side, but she steps up for the team. And so I think that connection is really great as well.
Excellent. Coming in senior year, obviously you got to be excited to soon graduate from high school, but at the same time, every time you step on the court, you're getting closer to the end of your high school career. So how are you kind of balancing those emotions?
I'm definitely excited for my senior season. I think kind of what Santia said, just looking to have some fun. But it's definitely a little bit bittersweet. I mean, being on the team for the last 3 years, getting to play, getting to have these coaches and have the Hawken experience is great. And it's going to be definitely a little sad moving forward, but overall excited to, make the next step.
What is it going to take for this team not only to repeat as conference champions, but also to make a deep run in the postseason?
I think a big thing is really going to be pushing ourselves in practice. I think in the past when we've looked to postseason games, we've definitely faced some big competition, and I think that has been kind of a little bit of a shock to us sometimes. And we have those really tall players who are kind of hitting balls, and we can definitely face off against them. And especially with our own team, we have players like that on our team that we can see during practice. So I think seeing every single game as an opportunity to get better, as well as pushing ourselves in practice, will definitely help us in those postseason moments.
Excellent. Good luck to you this fall. All right, Olivia, on to you. Name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm a senior and I'm an outside, middle, and right side.
Same question for you about senior year. How are you dealing with those emotions? Just being excited to graduate, but at the same time, your career is kind of slipping away.
Yeah, I've been playing volleyball for a really long time. I started in CYO, and so I think along my journey, I've definitely gone through lots of different stuff. And coming and knowing this is my senior year, I'm ready to move on to the next part of my life, but also like remembering all the good times I've had and just concluding it on a really high note and playing with some of my best friends. So.
Emily, sang your praises for being willing to do whatever it takes to help the team. What drives that? Just that willingness to do whatever it takes.
I think my love for volleyball and my love for being on a team and playing a team sport, I'm really committed to volleyball. And I think a good team player will do what's necessary for the team, whether that's playing a position they're not comfortable in, or playing something they're not used to, or playing something they used to play. Like I think it's just making sacrifices, and I think that's definitely just what it means to be a good team player.
Who is your breakout player and why?
I would say my breakout player is, I agree with all of them on Kendall. I think we can collectively agree that she's had a really good preseason so far. I would also say Casey Jarrett on our team as well. I think she got a lot of varsity experience last year, and she's really finding her place on the court, whether that's libero or as a DS, and she's really taking control of back row and just finding what works for her.
What is the ceiling for this year's team and what will it take to reach it?
I think our ceiling, I think we're aiming high this year. I would definitely say there's probably no ceiling, but as you, Emily kind of answered it, but I think just getting farther into playoffs and getting farther than we ever have before. And I think to reach that, we just need to really focus in and find what works for us, figure out what plays work for us, and just really come together as a team.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this fall. Coach, back to you. We talked a lot about the offense since you got your setter and a couple front row players. Talk about the defense. You're going to win a lot of matches with a good defense.
Yeah, we have Maggie is coming back in our back row from the varsity squad. And that's the thing, we have a 14-person varsity team and we have 6 kids returning. So we are pretty much a brand new team overall. So I'm leaning on some of that experience in that varsity level from the 6 and Maggie being one of them in the defensive positioning, Casey the same way that they referenced. And so their knowledge of knowing that the pace is faster to knowing the different types of teams that we're going to be competing against. Knowing and those connections with Emily when she's in the back row and being able to feed off of our front row, especially with when we have Olivia and Cincy in the front row with pins of lining up our blocks. There's going to be a lot of communication, and so having already with Maggie and Casey in that space, being able to step in and be able to communicate and kind of guide. I'm looking to them for that, and they're stepping into that space. We graduated Addie Gardner last year, who's off to Worcester to play, and so they definitely have some shoes to fill, but they're excited about it. And they're being competitive in the practices and the scrimmages that we've already had thus far in the preseason.
I asked a little bit about the potential of this team, the ceiling, that type of thing. What's the coach's perspective here? What are your expectations, and what will it take to achieve that?
Yeah, we started kind of early in the sense that we started talking about the season last spring. We had a couple one-on-one sessions with a couple of our players, and a common theme that came out of it was this concept of team chemistry. And I think that all of us, especially our captain sitting right here, reference this idea of that we've got to be able to come together. We know we have the talent. We know that we have the skills to do so. There's just going to be that one point where it all kind of turns. We're still defining a couple of our different lineups, making sure that we're putting people in the best places, kind of as Liv sort of made reference to about, what role do we need to fill and how do we buy into it and how do we do our best in those spaces. When that clicks, I think we'll be unstoppable. I think we have an opportunity to make that run. I know that we're itching to make that run in the postseason. In a lot of ways, losing to Copley, which we try not to reference as often as possible, was hard, but it was definitely a learning moment. And I think that I'm excited that we have at least that experience to know that we can do it. We watched the rest of the postseason of the teams that Copley played against, and we knew that we could compete. And so, it was a space and a place for us to learn from that moment, even if we weren't necessarily deep in that tournament, to know that we have the capacity to do so. And so, we have those goals. We're sitting down this week to talk as a team about what it's going to take to achieve those goals tangibly and mentally in a lot of ways. So, we're building upon that, but we're invested. So we're excited about what that investment will look like and getting ready to put some work in on the court.
Outstanding, Coach. Well, I appreciate you and the ladies taking some time out of the day to preview the season, and best of luck to you this fall. Wow, that was a mouthful.
No, thank you very much. We're excited.